It's the Ball Boys. I'm Dave. He's Eddie. I'm Eddie. He's Dave.
Okay.
Luka Doncic gets traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first round pick.
Oh my
Essentially,
God.
there's other moving parts, but that's basically the trade. This
Yeah.
happened in the wee hours. I wouldn't say in the wee hours of the night. At around 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
you were
On a Sa-
sleeping
on a Saturday.
on a Saturday night. I called you and woke you up, and
Yeah.
much to the chagrin of my mother, your wife,
Hmm.
and yeah, I did. It didn't matter because I was like, he has to hear this.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts as a Laker fan? I mean, let's start there. This is just one of the most stunning things that has ever happened in the NBA, Dad.
It reminds me of when the Lakers got Shaq from Orlando. It's that kind of seismic shift for the Lakers. Do I think it's a great trade? Hey, anytime you get the third best player in the world to be on your team, I think it's a pretty good trade.
Yeah,
As much as I love AD, I mean, the Lakers weren't going to win a championship with him. So, hey, this is uncharted territory. This is a huge seismic shift, and hey, this is a trade that impacts the league over the whole next week because of trade deadline. If AD can get traded and if Luka can get traded at this level, everybody's in play. LeBron can get traded. Steph can get traded. Durant can get traded. Like it's that seismic. Like this is a huge. This is like the last. Like I was trying to say. I went back into the history of the huge trades in the history of the NBA. And ironically, the trade that I mentioned, the Orlando trade to the Lakers with Shaq, like that wasn't even on the in the top 10 of all time mega trades.
but it wasn't a trade, Dad.
Well, I mean, sure it was.
No, it wasn't. He signed. It was a free agency. It's totally different. Like,
Well, yeah, well, I
no, it's
guess.
totally different, Dad. It's totally different because the Mavericks like traded. They traded a top three player in the league in his prime.
Yeah, I know.
In his
Like,
prime.
yeah.
And he didn't ask out. This is one of the most unbelievable trades I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they traded a top three player
In the world.
in the world in his prime. Like the Shaq thing, he signed with the Lakers. It's totally
Yeah.
different, Dad.
Okay, you're right.
And I mean, like, look, the Lakers just got the guy for the next 10 years. And
Well,
people
that's what
say,
I'm saying. Is
oh,
like that's what I mean in terms of that analogy. Is that Shaq came
right.
not in a trade, but
The impact wise.
his impact was a decades long, right? And so that's what Luca Luca being on this team is the infusion of life into that franchise that they haven't had for decades. So even having LeBron on that team. Like, I'm sorry, this is a huge seismic shift for that franchise. And so, and again, so I'm torn because on one hand, they're getting, like I say, the third best player in the league and in the world on that team to go with LeBron. But what do they do with their center? Like, who? Jackson Hayes? What?
Well, I mean, look, honestly, I think they'll probably make another trade. And this is
Well, I think so.
but honestly, Dad, like, who gives a shit? Like this season doesn't even matter. This is about the next 10 years because
Oh, I know.
this is the post LeBron plan. So, like, honestly, like, yeah, is it a weird fit with this team? Kinda, but like, it doesn't matter. You still do it 10 times out of 10, and
Oh, yeah.
and you figure it out. I mean, it's Luka fucking Doncic, man.
I know,
And
yeah.
I mean, we kind of buried the lead, in my opinion, because I think this is the all-time dumbest move an NBA team has ever made in the entire time I've been watching the league. Because if you're Dallas and they try to justify it, you see the reports that Luka was pushing 270 and okay, let me put it like this. If the Dallas Mavericks messed up on two fronts. It was double the idiot two times. Okay, because here's what they did: they traded a top three player in his prime, pre-prime, because they thought that he was a fat ass, basically, in so many words. All this stuff. I mean, and yeah, was it valid the stuff that they had genuine concerns about his conditioning and his commitment level, and he had a looming supermax extension that he was going to sign in the summer, and they looked at it and they went, shit, man, do we want to invest the kind of money in this guy who it's always a fight to keep him in shape? And he comes in out of shape. And it's like, In my opinion, yeah, 100%. You pay him. You pay him. You know why? Because he took you to the finals like
Hmm.
8 months ago, and he's
Yeah,
one of the best players on the planet. Like
yeah,
he is a legit megastar. And
but
to
he can't
just
play defense.
well, it doesn't even matter, Dad. It does not matter. Like he is he is that good offensively where it does not matter.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's shown that you can win with him as your best player because he made it to the finals last year. He hasn't won it yet, but he's still only 25. LeBron didn't get his until he was like 28. It takes
No,
time.
I mean it's
But I
it's
mean,
it's a shocker, Eddie. It's like and like I say, you might be right. I don't think they're done yet. Like they have to go off and get somebody in the big in to play the five. Like
well, you're still talking about the Lakers, though.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm talking about the Mavs, and because I mentioned there was two things, right? That was number
yeah.
one. Number two is even if okay, you've had him in the building and you make the decision as a franchise. Yes, okay. You know what? It's too much money. Excuse me, a little under the weather today, but it's too much money. He's too fat. He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to our nutrition, our doctors. He's
Mhm.
gonna his knees are gonna go because he can't get in shape. If you really, really, truly feel like that, then how can you not have a bidding war and drive up the price and
Well,
actually
this is
get
the
something for
thing.
him?
I heard this like on an earlier broadcast on the Raptors broadcast tonight. Like Sam Mitchell was saying, like, how could you not open this up to every team in the league and say, what can I get for Luca? Are you
It's
kidding?
insane.
Teams would empty their their teams on it to get him. So
Yeah,
to make a deal like this is like, whoa, something's going on here.
it's one of the most that's the most perplexing part. Like yes, I think if you ask anybody that like yeah okay Luca has conditioning issues, but I would never trade him in a million years. But even if like you know what, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because they have him like they see him every day, whatever. But even if you come to that decision, how can you just call the Lakers and be like, yeah, we want Anthony Davis, and
Yeah,
Rob Pelinka's like,
sure.
really? Like, okay,
Okay.
like,
For Luca? Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I love
sure.
the report. I saw a report that's like Lakers brass had to meet and discuss, and they came to the conclusion after a 3 hour meeting that Luka Doncic was the guy that they could build their franchise around for 10 years. It's like no fucking shit.
Yeah.
I can imagine that call. He probably picked it up and he was like, "Hello, wait. So you want Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic? Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's great. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I,
Send over the
I
papers
know,
right
and
now, buddy.
LeBron found out about. He didn't even know. Like he was.
He probably didn't. He was probably like CAAD.
Well,
Like what the
they were out they were out. He was out partying with friends and family after they beat the Knicks in New York, and he was like
unbelievable.
totally gobsmacked. Like
Everybody was shocked. Everybody. This was like
everybody.
one of the most surprising things. And look, the Lakers
Like
they fucking
okay,
did
so
it
in
again,
terms of
man.
in terms of recent trades like this, I mean, I guess the thing that sticks out for me would be the Boston trade to get Garnett and Pierce. I mean, to
Yeah,
join.
but okay. I said okay. I'd like you brought this up because I was thinking about this too. Like the that one was a shocker, but like everybody knew KG wanted out.
Yeah,
Right? It's the same thing with because the Kawhi one to Toronto was a shocker too. But
yeah,
same thing, like Kawhi was bitchy. He wanted to get out of there all summer. It just nobody knew where.
yeah,
So that part was shocking, and the DeMar aspect, it was just like whoa.
yeah.
But this feels different, man. Like
This is just out of nowhere.
it
Like
just because
holy
he didn't
crap!
ask out. There was no crumbs, nothing. It
No,
was just like they just
boom.
did it in the shadows one day, and I
Yeah,
mean even everybody. I've never seen anybody this shocked. I mean, there's a couple other ones like when Iverson got traded. This was a long ways, sorry, a long time ago. But when Iverson got traded to Denver from Philly in like '06, that
yeah,
was a big one.
yeah.
You know,
It's just this is
Kareem got
I,
traded, but I mean, Kareem wanted out of Milwaukee. So he asked to get traded. So
yeah,
again,
yeah.
like like there's been a couple other ones, but my God,
This is a this is a seismic thing, and it affects, like I say, it affects not only just the Lakers and the Mavs, but it affects everybody. Like, what's the Western Conference going to be like now? Holy crap!
well, I mean,
And did the Lakers like where do they stop? Like, do they go out and get Steph?
does no. I think they trade LeBron to Golden State.
I've heard that. I've heard
I think they go
LeBron.
the other way, and they're like, you know what? We got, and it's just like it's time to get out of this LeBron AD era,
Yeah,
and we got Luca. He's our guy. He's
yeah.
and and it's time to hand the keys over because like they just I can't believe it.
I think it's a great move.
Honestly, like Who cares? Who cares?
Like I don't know if
This,
this is, I
who
don't know if
cares
this is
about
going to work out this year, but this is like you say, this is
who cares about this year?
no, this is the 10-year future of the franchise. This is the pendulum swing
Yeah,
that rewrites the franchise. So and they
yeah.
needed that. Like it's like a Kawhi moment for the Raptors, right? Like that kind of thing, right? That seismic.
Except it happens like but it happens with the Lakers. Like they get Magic in the eight. No, they get Kareem. They get Wilt first, then they get Kareem, then they get Magic, and then Shaq and Kobe all of a sudden fall in their lap, and then Kobe, and then LeBron takes over, and now they get Luka, and it's unbelievable. It's just crazy
I'm
that the
happy,
Lakers continue to do this. But one quick thing I want to touch on, we have to touch on this.
Mhm.
De'Aaron Fox got traded this evening
Right?
to San Antonio, and I got to take credit. We've talked about San Antonio as a potential trade partner for a lot of these guys, but like I talked about them with Butler, with Zion, and
Yeah,
with Fox. It's like they should be wanting to trade for a guy like this.
yeah,
They get De'Aaron Fox. Zach LaVine goes to Sacramento along with a shitload of picks. And then basically the Bulls get their pick back from San Antonio and a bunch of crappy players like Zach Collins and Trey Jones and stuff.
right.
That's essentially the trade.
Yep.
So basically, the core of it, Zach LaVine goes to Sacramento
Now,
and a
do you
picks
think? Oh,
package.
let's not forget going back to the trade with the Lakers and Mavs. There's a third party involved, which is Utah.
Yeah, no, I know, but like,
And
it's just,
and
like,
so but do you think the Raptors missed out on that?
what did they miss out on? Who did Utah get?
Well, Utah got some draft picks
And the Raptors
and
probably
one
the
of the,
Raptors probably will be like will try to do that with another team, but I think
that's
this
what I'm
happened so
thinking.
quickly
Yeah,
that like they probably had it done. And they were like, I have a good relationship with Danny.
yeah,
I'll give him a call because it's Danny Ainge. But just quickly, I want to talk about this Fox thing. So Levine goes to Sacramento.
mhm,
Bulls get their pick back, so they buy their way into the lottery. De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio. That's the core of the deal.
yeah.
Do you like the pairing with Wemby? Is this the guy?
With Fox? Uh,
Yeah.
hey, yeah. You know what? They need. I mean, Vassal's a really great young guy, good point guard. But
But I mean, come on.
is he going to win you a championship? Probably not. But Fox, yeah.
Fox is an all-star.
Yeah, like he gives him legitimacy at that position. Then you got the center position locked up. They just need to build the roster out. You know, get a four, get a shooting guard, and build keep and get a power forward. So hey, they're moving in the right direction, Eddie. And
Well, yeah, they are.
yeah,
They have the best. They have the best player. I mean, not yet, but he will be the best player in the world.
yeah, he will be.
He's already probably like top 15.
Wembanyama, I
You
got
got
it right.
it. Nailed it. Oh gosh, but yeah, I mean, just a crazy 24 hours. We probably should be talking about this Fox thing more. But I gotta admit, we both nailed it. We said that Fox was gonna get traded. We
Yep.
said that Levine was gonna get traded. I think I may have mentioned an Anthony Davis fake trade too, but that was going to like it definitely was not going to the Mavs for Luka Doncic.
No.
I mean, Jesus
Like
Christ.
this is like a seismic. Like I say, this changes the landscape for every team in the NBA, and it also gives permission for clubs to trade their best players. And everyone's on the table now, and I'm sure there's guys like shitting their pants right now, going, "Oh man, I thought I was safe on this team." Like nobody's safe. Nobody, even LeBron.
No, especially LeBron. Yeah, I mean, just one of the craziest. I can't remember a trade like anything like this. I mean,
It's just this will be talked about for years, Eddie.
do you think that it was the dumbest move that the Mavericks could ever make? Because I
No,
do.
I don't. Well, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, I mean, anytime you give up a top three player in the world,
When he's
despite
25,
despite his his bloatedness and also his lack of efficiency on the defensive end, the guy's still an amazing player. So anytime you have a chance to get that guy, you get him. Like that's what the Raptors did with
but
Kawhi.
why would they trade him? But like, and again, like I said, it's twofold. Number one, if you have a guy, a bona fide guy like that, you never trade him in his prime. It's
No.
just unheard of. Like this
Yeah.
has never happened before.
It's like, can you imagine the Lakers trading Kobe in his prime? Like,
That's literally kind of what it's like.
Yeah.
Or Dirk. Or like if they were just
yeah.
like, yeah, you know what? We're tired of it, Dirk, and just traded him for like fucking Kwame Brown or some shit like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
like-
it honestly, it's kind of similar to when the Grizzlies traded Gasol to the Lakers.
Yeah.
There's another one when they got Gasol.
yeah,
Like that one came out of nowhere, and Memphis just kind of, and everybody in the league was pissed because they're like, what the fuck? You just traded Gasol? Like, why didn't you
Yeah.
tell us?
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Exactly.
could have offered something better.
Right.
And they're like,
Like that's
we
the
don't
thing
know because we're
that astounds
idiots.
me is about this trade is like the fact that nobody else was involved except for
Exactly.
Utah.
Like that, exactly. And that's and we already talked about it, but that's the second point. Like number one, you can't trade Luka Doncic because you're an idiot if you want to do that. And number
Yeah.
two, if you somehow want to do that, you gotta at least like get something better than Anthony Davis and a
Yeah.
first round pick.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, Anthony Davis in a first round pick is pretty good.
Come on. Brooklyn got 5 draft picks for Mikal Bridges. 5 first round picks
Oh,
for
true. Yeah.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
I
I
know.
mean,
I know.
think about if they called Oklahoma City. Think about what Oklahoma City could have given them. Well, think about what the Raptors could have given them. We could have given
Yeah.
them like R.J. Barrett,
Yeah.
Grady Dick, and
Scotty.
like 3 first round picks.
Yeah.
They got one pick,
Yeah.
and a 31-year-old guy who gets hurt. Anthony Davis is a great player. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
But like, this is a superstar.
Yep. It's crazy, Eddie. This is this is one of those trades that, like I say, this is historical. Like this is it's everybody's in shock. Everybody is in shock.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm in shock. I honestly, I've never seen anything like this. What a bunch of morons. And look, maybe we'll be wrong. Maybe the Mavs will win, but
No, I mean,
I don't see it.
they got AD for defense, and yeah, that's great. But I don't see it. I don't see that. I don't see that team getting through. No, sorry.
Like, imagine what Houston could have offered them
No, I know.
for Luca. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Luca. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
like 8 months ago, we were having real discussions whether or not he was the best player in the league. He was in the finals. Anthony Davis is a really fucking good player. There's no doubt about it. But he's just not on the same class as Luka Doncic. And I just to give up and Luka's 6 years younger. I just don't understand.
I know. I know. It's a shock already, and we'll see.
Unbelievable.
We'll see what happens.
The Lakers made out like bandits, man. Who
I'm
cares
so
about
thrilled.
this season? And
Yeah.
who knows? Like, look, maybe they'll just be awesome together.
Yeah, maybe.
They might, because Luka's
I mean,
gonna be pissed off.
they still have to get a center, but
I mean, Jesus, and they won't be able to guard anybody. But I mean, my God, like
I know but
LeBron
still.
and Luka on the same team. That's
Oh
like
my God.
fucking 2K shit right there.
I know,
Like, it's
I know.
crazy.
Yeah, I know it is.
And then LeBron will be able to coast, and he will like because like it's like I got news for you, man. It's not LeBron's team anymore. That was
No.
the signal. It's
Yeah.
Luka Doncic's team.
Yep.
It's like he's the alpha now.
Yep, absolutely.
Unbelievable. I
Changing
can't
of the
believe
guard,
it.
changing of the guard, and that's important. And that's like I say, that's important for the franchise, for for LA. Like they needed to get younger, they needed to have a future. Now they got it. So
You have
but,
to call Ross. We should have him on again.
yeah, we should.
We should have him on.
Yeah.
Well, the
Great.
city of Los Angeles, all jokes aside, did need some good news. Yeah, heart goes out to all those people in California, but hopefully this news will give you a reprieve for a day because damn, from a basketball standpoint, it is some really fucking good news for Laker fans.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't be happier.